Hey, what do you say to Carson Wentz after a game like that? And second part of that question, you got a lot of good TV time when you were out there congratulating the other team, and you gave, I'd say, 7 to 9 old man gentleman standard handshakes. It was just great to see. Like, it was great. Like, it reminded me of the good old days. You're just giving these straight handshakes to these 21-year-old kids that have been watching you play for 15 years. Like, that was fun. And do you sometimes wonder, what am I doing here? Is this a handshake like a gentleman, or am I dapping this dude up? Like, do you ever have any worries?
Oh, for sure. It's a major phobia post game. What are guys going to do? I think for whatever reason, maybe because of my age, there people are more apt to just go for the old school handshake.
He's
So it
white,
actually
he's
helps
older.
me because I'm not saying that's my go-to, but I'm saying that might be, top of mind. I'm ready for any of it. I feel like if you watch the thumb, when it starts pointing kind of up a little bit, you have a good idea it's going to be a dap. You kind of get into the old bro hug. If it's more kind of level, that means they're going old school handshake. So there was definitely a good amount of those. But no, I wanted to see. I definitely want to see Carson and talk to him after the game, and Jalen. I got to talk to him for a little bit, which was nice. Richard Rodgers, an old teammate. And then just I think the respect level when there are veteran players like Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, and guys you played against for a long time. It's fun to see those guys. Alex Singleton, the middle linebacker, is a buddy. He works out with us out in Los Angeles in the off season. Great story, CFL player who had a couple really good years up there, and has come down and become a starting backer in the league. Just a great dude. Works his ass off. And worked for everything he's gotten. Really happy to see him get an opportunity, and he's become a really good player. I don't want to talk about what I said to Carson. I feel like there's some things that just really need to stay, even with this show and how much I love to divulge on this show. I've been meaning to talk to him for a while, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to say some things to him because I've always respected his game and been a fan of his game, and I think he has a really unique skill set. Obviously this hasn't been a great year there in Philly. I think there's a lot of factors around him that contribute to that. So I feel like it was a good quick conversation, and definitely wish him the best the rest of the year because I've been a fan of his since he got in the league, and he's had some tough circumstances over his few years in the league, and I hope things work out for him, whether it's there or somewhere else.
The internet was intrigued by you and Carson Wentz talking, and obviously the internet's going to do what the internet does. But the one I was very intrigued by was you and Jalen Hurts talking, because I feel like if I was a younger quarterback and I got a chance to play against your team, going and talking to you, now granted, if you don't have a personal relationship with somebody, it's hard to just have a full convo. How does that go? Does Jalen like ask you any tips there? Is it just like a mutual respect type conversation? Is that kind of what it is? And I would assume that happens after every single game. I mean, I watched a clip where like 4 people after the Colts game were looking for your autographed jersey. I would assume that you are a busy man after there, but how do those, we've talked before about how the conversation is depending on how the cameras are, but I assume a lot of young guys, quarterbacks especially, they have to come in and do they shoot their shot? Like, this is a chance I get a chance to ask by a lot of people, everybody's said the most talented quarterback of all time, a little piece of advice here, or how'd that go?
Well, I think first of all, it's kind of the formality is. You go over and see the quarterback. I think there's a feeling of understanding. You play in the same position. You understand how much it takes to get ready to play each week. You understand how important that job is and what it takes mentally to go out there and compete and be successful. So there's a base level of respect that goes along with playing quarterback in this league. And that's why I enjoy the conversations every single week. If it's a guy I know really well, and get to have a minute to catch up, or a guy that I don't know well that I can say something to, like the young rookie in Jacksonville. Don't know him, never met him. I don't go out for pregame warmups, so there's no conversation before. But what I did want to say to him was that was a hell of a spin move, because the previous week he had done a reverse spin move on a guy and scored a touchdown. That's what I wanted to tell him. That was pretty cool. Guy like Phil, in Indy, I have a ton of respect for him. He was drafted in the class before me. I've known him as a competitor for a long time, competed a few times, and just not sure if this will be the last time we play against each other. and wanted to make sure I paid my respects to him for the career that he's had, for the amount of respect that I have for him as a competitor, what he's accomplished in his career. I think those are fun moments to share with a guy like with Jalen, who I watched in college and enjoyed at both schools that he was at. I really enjoyed the way he carried himself, especially with the everything that happened to him with Tua kind of taking over a halftime of a championship game, and then him going to another school and having a fantastic season. I just really appreciate the way he carried himself. He did most of the talking in that conversation, very respectful. I appreciated, the respect that he showed me and his comments. That was a nice conversation. And then, I did more of the talking with Carson just because I felt like I had a message I wanted to share with him and hopefully encourage him a little bit. I'm
surprised NFL Films didn't release that as soon as you said it. Like as soon as it came out, I'm surprised they didn't just put that out there. That feels like something.
Well, to be honest with you, I definitely wasn't mic'd up, and I did give one of the look around to see if there was any of the booms there. I think that it's been great for us in NFL Films. I mean, I grew up watching, Steve Sable and loving those moments. I think there's some conversations though that you do appreciate, having be private, and that was one of them that I just wanted to share between Carson and I. If he chooses to talk about it, I have no problem with it, but I think that's one that'll probably remain between him and I.